let's paint. Welcome everybody to this live stream. I appreciate you being here, supporting the live stream. We do these every Thursday and Friday. I did take the day off yesterday just because, I had a lot of family stuff this week and I wanted to make sure I was giving you all my energy and my all. So I took a little break, but I'm back. I was in the mood to especially do this once I saw that this series, The Mandalorian, came out today, a new season. Those of you not familiar with Mandalorian, it is on Disney Plus. We are not promoting it in any way, but I'm just a fan of Star Wars. I'm just a fan of, anything that's like cinematic and creative. I'm into it. By the way, if you have any questions, you can ask me some questions during this live stream and I'll answer them about my process or about maybe some advice for artists. So don't be shy. This is an ARTLIFE family and I welcome all of you to join the discussion. All right, great question. Someone just asked, what type of paint do I use? And the paint that I'm using is just interior latex house paint. So I'm using Bare Elch Premium and I use it because it has a primer in it and I don't need to go do a bunch of layers. I do one brush stroke, one layer, and that's it. So thank you for asking that question. Yeah, so someone said, how do I get all these camera angles? We have, well, first of all, Ray, who is running our production. We have like about 4 cameras set up and everything goes back to a Blackmagic A10 Mini. And it helps us just provide this experience with multiple cameras. But man, we spent a lot of time just from quarantine in the beginning and on, just really trying to perfect this live stream process and just starting, just painting, and then going from there. But I also spent a lot of time on YouTube just researching and learning what to do, what not to do for live streams, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the live stream process. But it's been a huge growth and also a huge blessing to be able to do these live streams. From doing, 100 shows on average a year to having nothing when the pandemic hit, and we just turned into a positive. And here we are, doing these live streams. All right. Actually, what? I don't want to start with this color. Too obvious. All right, so someone just asked, how do I choose the colors for my paint? So I choose the colors based on what are the minimum amount of colors that I need to be able to mix together and create any color that I want. So I choose those colors based on that way of thinking. And there's some basics here, and then there's some others that are just a little more specific that we built on. So someone said, do I look at a reference? And I don't have a picture, but I have done research and I have prepared. And it's a mixture of everything. It's also just a mixture of just doing this for a long time and learning some tricks along the way. But like right now, this process of just painting, putting paint on the surface, I'm just going with the flow. And you gotta find your flow. You gotta find what works for you. What works for me may not work for everyone else, but I enjoy it. That's a great question. So yes, how do we sign up for the virtual paint night on November 7th? We're gonna paint Baby Yoda for that one. You can visit garibaldiarts.com/paint. And actually, we can put that on the screen just real quick if you want. We will put the address, the web address of where you can sign up. So we'll put that on the screen. And you can actually not only sign up for that, but also future classes and save based on the more that you sign up for. So garibaldiarts.com/paint is where you will sign up. We're just building this up one layer at a time, little by little. All right, so someone just asked, how do you overcome, or how do I overcome creator's block? And the best way that I overcome creator's block is I create. So I know that sounds crazy because you're thinking, that you may need some sort of purpose to show up. And I think the way that you continue to get over is you just put paint to canvas, or you put pencil to paper, and just the act of maybe drawing something or creating something you've already done. But just the act of creating sparks inspiration, and you keep doing that until it hits you. So that's what I do. I will literally do that. But luckily, because I do try to create as much as possible, so that keeps me inspired. And that's why I tell you the best way to get over your artist block is to just create. And there's a famous quote from Picasso that says, inspiration exists, it just has to find you working. And I truly, truly believe that. Think about creativity and inspiration as almost like a jealous boyfriend or girlfriend. And someone who's they only want to really be with you if you're 100% into them. They're like, I don't want you to give attention to anyone else. I want it to be just about me. That's kind of how creativity is, and it'll keep showing up for you. I don't know if that's the best analogy, but it's just creativity, and your inspiration shows up during the act of creating. And so I also love listening to music. It helps with the process as well. Yeah, so someone just asked, how do they get my work in Nigeria? I would just email us to start. You can email info@garibaldiarts.com, and we can start there and figure that out. All right, we're gonna leave that there right now. I'm gonna switch brushes. We're just gonna build this up. Just one layer at a time. So I do want to do a quick check right now. Who is new? Can you let me know in the comments and just say new? Or if you've been here before, just say I'm back, so I can read these later and shout you out, or send you just a thank you for being here. By the way, we do sell these paintings from the live streams. You can view most of them at garibaldiarts.com/gallery, but I say that to preface this because if we don't sell this, I'm definitely gonna put this in my kids' room. I think they would go crazy for this, so I do have a plan if we don't sell this. You can already see it coming to life. All right, so someone just asked, how did I know that I was meant to paint in this style? So, remember earlier I was telling you about how to find inspiration and creativity and how to make sure that you're always ready for it. So I was just always creating my whole life, whether it was doing music, or whether I was doing animation or really like anything else. I always stay creatively active. And those passions, whether it was dance, music, or art, led me to when I saw the artwork of Denny Dent, who started performance painting. You know, I already had this experience in some of those realms, and it was a combination of all these passions. So, in a sense, everything I did before I found that inspiration, I was kind of like preparing myself, and I didn't even know it. So that's why I say, you know, you just gotta create and keep your hands busy, and that inspiration will find you. And whether that's your personal style or, you know, something else. All right, let's add a little white. So I'm gonna use the wall as a palette. I'm not sure where you're watching this. If you're watching this on YouTube, I think you could probably see this. What's that? Uh-huh. No. Oh, sorry, they're new. Oh, yes. So, sorry, Chadi's reading me some of the comments on Instagram. It's already cute. Don't you think the kids would like this in the room? I think so too. Or maybe we can put it in our room. She's like, nah, homie. All right, it's a great question. So someone asked, do I allow my paint to dry before I add more layers? And no. So what helps me paint these fast is the fact that I'm working on the wet paint. And I'm mixing it as I go. So no, I don't wait for that. But great question. Just little, and we'll show you the details of this later on. This is just little brush strokes that all add up. I kind of have, you know, I study the image, so I have a feel for, you know, what I want it to look like, what it's supposed to look like. By the way, we'll just keep adding white paint to this palette on the wall. And I used one base color, which was a dark green, and then I'm just adding white to it, just a little more to change the value of it. So it just gets lighter and lighter, and then work our way up to white. And I'll show you all these details. If you stay till the end of the live stream, I'll show you all these details, or you can always watch these on replay on my YouTube channel, which is also Garibaldi Arts. Just taking my time with those little brush strokes. I'm gonna go way, way above the last value. And the value I mean is the light and darkness. We're gonna go a lot lighter. And actually I may let this dry a little bit before we add a final, like a final white color to it, so. By the way, if you're just joining us, we do these live streams 2 days a week, every Thursday and Friday. Keep going on these steps of value. I'm gonna go for the white now, and there's all the highlights of the hair. By the way, I gotta keep hitting the paint off because sometimes there's too much paint and there's excess, and I just hit it off all the time to get what I need. Yeah, so someone said and asked, do I do commission paintings? Yes, I do, but usually the commissions that I do them a minimum size of 3 feet, and then also we usually go up to the average size of 6 feet. But you can always get information about that at if you email us, info@GaribaldiArts.com. Oh yeah, let's see. So I'm gonna add some. I'm sorry, what was that? All right, someone asked, do I practice these paintings before I go live? And I do not. I just kind of go for it. I'm just flowing in front of all of you right now. This is like going to an artistic gym. So I don't know what's gonna happen either. And so I know that as I paint, the inspiration will come to me. I just recommend that for any artist that experiences creative blocks, just start painting, just start creating. So I got a little excess white on here that was dripping. So I'm just gonna wipe that. Wipe that there. And let me get a black as well. And I'm gonna wipe this little excess paint that came off earlier. And here we go with those big, shiny eyes. A little side reflection as well, just to make him look even more adorable, because, you know, it's pretty adorable. And there's like these little teeth here. I don't know if this will work out or read, but it's very, very light. So I'm just kind of rubbing the brush on the surface, a little dry brush technique. All right, let's find a color for, you know what? Let's do this. We're gonna go with purple as a background color to start. And we'll just add one single color and then we'll go back with some details later, but we'll see if this idea works out. I don't know. Ooh, what am I doing for Halloween? So I am dressing up. I am, my girlfriend and I, we have a theme already picked out, and we're gonna do like a photo shoot. No, not tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow's Halloween, right? Yeah. So we're gonna do a photo shoot. That's normal, right? So I'm gonna put this base color down and I'm gonna go back with a lighter color and we'll see how that mixes. Okay, let's go a step up from that. We'll mix it on the wall first. We're just using the wall as a palette. I don't want it to be too light because I really wanted the silhouette of him to stand out. So we will get to throwing paint, but first I want to just mist a little bit of, I want him to glow. So I'm going to go back with the spray paint. I use the spray paint to really accentuate anything that the brush can't do. So for example, if the paint is too wet, it doesn't really matter to the spray paint because it's just spraying on top of the paint, whether it's wet or dry. Oh, so someone asked, what is my costume gonna be? You'll have to wait and see the photo shoot. I mean, I hired like this movie makeup person to do my makeup for me, so I can't wait for you to see. We're gonna add a little bit of mist for him, like slightly glowing. He's so adorable. So then I'll add this white in other areas that the light is hitting as well. And these don't need to be really realistic at all. It's really just giving information to you, the viewer, and telling you this is what I noticed and this is what I see. And then I share that information with each brush stroke as well. So, I'm sorry, what was that? What's the name of the technique I use? I call this performance painting. So that's because I make the process of painting hopefully entertaining. Let's give that a bigger splash. You know what? I got these things. Let's see what this does. I don't know. Do I plan on going on tour? For sure. I mean, when things open back up, I'll definitely be going back out on tour. Let's see what this does. I have no idea what this is gonna do, but. Okay, that doesn't really do much, but enough for me to be more curious and see what else I can get out of this. Let's do that with this color as well, and let's just see what happens. I am just experimenting right now. Do I plan on doing what? Yes, I mean, I would love to get out to Africa. That's one of the few places that I haven't been yet, so. Sometimes do I show my work in galleries? And no, I do not. I like to just keep it private, and we just share it all throughout my own outlets. All right, let's throw a little bit more paint at this. Wash up these hands.
We were undiscovered, didn't care for one another, you and I. Thought I was okay, till something in me changed, don't know why.
All right. Oh, my mic just came out. Okay. So we're gonna take one last look at this painting, and then we're gonna wrap this live stream up with a chat, but take one last look at Baby Yoda, AKA the child. All right, so yes, join us November 7th for that virtual paint night that I'll be leading called Paint with Garibaldi. And they last between 1.5 to 3 hours. It depends on what it is, but get something to sip on while you paint. And there's a list of everything you need. There's a link in my bio for that. So real quick, I have some questions that some people asked. But before we get to that, let's just take one last look at Baby Yoda real quick, AKA the child. That was a fun one. Very, very like spacey. That's the best way I could use that term. By the way, down below there's this side. Down below there's a code you can use, Paint 10. That'll actually give you $10 off the virtual paint night, and we'll put the address up as well on the screen. So visit GaribaldiArts.com/paint, and when you check out, use the code Paint10 for $10 off as well. All right, I have a question on Instagram. I'm gonna go through some questions before we end the live stream. First one is, how old are you? And I'm 37 years old, and that was a simple one. So I'm 37, thank you for asking. Let's see, I'm gonna go through some more questions here. All right, so someone asked over here, have you seen the full show? Assuming they're talking about Mandalorian, because that's what I painted today, Baby Yoda. But I've seen the full first season, so I haven't seen season 2 yet. We'll get to that hopefully this weekend. So let's answer some more questions. All right, someone else asked, have you attempted to paint on a wall like graffiti? Yes, I mean, I've done quite a bit of murals just throughout. I think being an artist in general, you just end up doing murals for some reason. People want large paintings on their walls, and yes, I've done that. All right, someone else asked, what is your favorite holiday? And I have to say, my favorite holiday is 4th of July because I just love fireworks. I think I would love to have fireworks on Christmas. I would love to have fireworks on Halloween. I mean, you name it, on my birthday. So I like 4th of July because of the fireworks. All right, someone asked, what's your Netflix show? So it's not my show on Netflix, but I am on a show on Netflix. It's called Dropping Cash. So if you're on Netflix, go search for the show Dropping Cash or Dropping Cash. And then there's an episode on there with the rapper Fetty Wap, and I go to his house and I do a portrait of him in his house. So it's pretty entertaining, but check that out. And yeah, so Michael Bradley has a question. I'm still trying to get a 16 by 20 print of Am I Next? Any chance to purchase it? So Michael, that was actually a limited edition and is no longer available. So when we put out new prints, we do limited time releases that are only for 24 hours. So Am I Next has been sold out, and it really won't be a long time until that comes out, unless it comes out in a different size. But definitely the 16 by 20 is sold out for now. But great question. Thank you for the questions. I want to answer some before we end this live stream. So this question, what do you recommend to be an artist? And I think that we're all artists and all creative. An artist is someone who uses any medium or tool to share who they are or share a story or try to get a point across. And so, we can all do that. And it's sort of like the same idea of, millions of people play basketball, but there's only a few that make it to the NBA at a professional level, but there's so many that do it just for fun. And so that's what I want to inspire. I want to inspire all of you just to create, regardless of whether you're doing it full-time or not. So another question came in, Alex Rubio, any Einstein prints or paintings available? Yes and yes. So Einstein prints are now available on my website, GaribaldiArts.com/shop. So we always have Einstein prints available there. And then the paintings are in the gallery. So GaribaldiArts.com/gallery. And you'll see some Einsteins there. All right. Let's see. Another question. Someone asked, what's my favorite painting? My favorite painting is always my next painting. So while I was doing Baby Yoda, that was my favorite painting. And now I'm on to the next. So Karen Pang says, I hope to join the next Paint with Garibaldi. I hope you can join it as well. And you know what, the virtual paint nights have become this, like, I I don't know, for me, it's just been this super gratifying experience to really take my time and help build other people's creative confidence. And I'm also becoming more confident with my creativity by teaching as well. So I hope you can join Paint with Garibaldi. Dusty B asked, have you painted any presidents? Yes, I have. I've painted Obama at the White House, and I've painted portraits of other presidents at other live shows around the country. So yes, that is true. All right, let me get a couple more questions in, and then we're gonna end this live stream, and then we'll be back next Thursday. Or I just may hop on as well. All right, so someone asked, what is your advice for beginning painters? And my best advice is really if you're beginning, that means you have time. So the first thing you're gonna do is take advantage of all the time you have to learn. So whether it's just getting better at your skill set, and that will lead you to your style. Also start thinking about, while you're taking classes and tutorials online or paint classes or art classes, just think about what are you passionate about outside of art or painting, and create more of that. So as you grow in your skills, you start to attract an audience. And actually, I'm gonna do a video about this that I'll post on Monday or Tuesday, because I think it's important that artists realize that you know, it's not always about going and finding your clientele. It's more so about attracting collectors or attracting people to sort of join your tribe. And I'll explain that in a video on Monday or Tuesday. So once a week, I'll post videos that I hope help build your creative confidence. All right, let's see. So someone said, you should do a giveaway with one of your paintings. And it's funny you say that, because we do giveaways with my paintings. And if you text the word ARTLIFE to 58885, it'll enter you to win one of my paintings. It's actually on the screen right there. So if you're watching over here, there's a link in my bio. Actually, it's written in my bio to text ARTLIFE to 58885, and it enters you to win one of my original paintings. All right. And Jolie Lozano said, that's my birthday. I think November 7th, is that your birthday? All right, you have to let me know. All right, let me just check a couple more. Yeah. Send your pictures to another picture. Oh yeah, so Fred Morales 404 on Twitch was asking, do you send your pictures to other countries like Brazil? Yes, so I have collectors all over the world, and we ship paintings worldwide. We'll start shipping prints worldwide in the coming months for the holidays, but for now we just ship original paintings worldwide. All right, this is a great question. Someone asked, what is your favorite author? Who is your favorite author? My favorite author, his name is James Pressfield. And he wrote a book, one of my favorite books, called The War of Art. And it talks about, you know, it'll do this. If you're a creator, and so again, look up James Pressfield, and then look up The War of Art. And if you're a creator, it'll either reaffirm what you already believe, or it'll open you up to getting to work, showing up, whether you want to or not. And that's the biggest first step. Most artists wait till they want to create, wait till they get inspired, when the professionals show up regardless. And James Pressfield talks about that in the book, The War of Art. So one of my favorite ones, James Pressfield. Let's see, all right. I'll answer this last question before we head out. Someone says, have a costume. Do I have a costume? Yes, I got my costume ready. We're doing a photo shoot tomorrow in my studio. I'm doing like 2 hours of makeup. I've got the costume already ready, and I'm gonna share some photos on my Instagram. So if you wanna stay up to date with what my costume is, follow me on Instagram, and it's at Garibaldi Arts, and watch my stories tomorrow, or just watch my page. So I cannot wait. All right, guys, that is it for today. Thank you for joining this live stream. Again, I just appreciate all of you taking the time. Whether you're popping in or out, I appreciate that. There's a lot of things you could be doing in this world, and the fact that you take some time to watch some live painting while I'm sweating, I appreciate it. Just remember to do everything with paint, passion, action, intent, new, and to teach, and those principles will help you create anything in your life. Look out for a new video Monday, Tuesday next week for artists, just some more inspiration to help you on your journey as you transition into a professional, or even just to hopefully inspire you wherever you're at on your journey. But for now, before we end the live stream, take one last look at Baby Yoda, AKA the child. I painted that today on the live stream. And my name is David Garibaldi. Thank you guys so much for joining me on Art Life Live. Peace.